Welcome to Rock Gut Podcast, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. I have an excellent show for you guys today. Very excited about. Actually worked on it. Actually put forth a little bit of effort into today's show, so I'm excited about that. But before we get started, I have to thank my sponsors: Blackbird Tattoo and Piercing, 300 South State, Clearfield, Utah. Go there for all of your tattoo and piercing needs. Also, Anti-All Forever Records. Go to spikesandhatestoreenvy.com and buy some music. You lovely folks can always reach me at rockupodcast@gmail.com, and I will get back to you. You can also reach me on all of the social media mind control bullshits. I do have an Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and now a Telegram channel that you can listen to the show on and enjoy. But of course, my show, I always advise people to listen to the show on Spotify because Spotify plays it seamlessly. So, with just a couple little ads. But if you are new to the show, this is episode number 69. And if you are new to the show, we do have a ritual to begin the show. Pour yourself a little drink of, I don't know, I do whiskey or vodka or whatever. If you don't want to drink, a little glass of Yoo-Hoo, or maybe just some good old hydrogen 2, oxygen 1. But remember that right now I got me some Jim Beam Black double-aged. I treated myself. Bought myself a little bit better bottle of whiskey than my usual go-tos. Jim Beam's usually my go-to, but I never bought a Jim Beam Black before, and I'm excited about this double-aged bourbon. So, without further ado, raise your glass, and as always, this is for the lost. Yeah. You definitely taste the difference in that one. Yeah, it's way smoother than regular Jim Beam. Almost has kind of a caramely taste. It's very good though. It's delicious. If you guys are fans of Jim Beam, I highly recommend it. I also have myself. I wanted to do something a little different tonight. I made myself ginger ale and vodka. Now, the only vodka I really allow myself to drink is Finlandia, or that Svedka stuff that comes from Sweden. I usually don't drink the Russian stuff. But yeah, I have a bunch of these cans of Seagram's ginger ale that my mom gave me, because she didn't know what to do with ginger ale. So I just took them and made myself a little ginger ale and vodka. And that's pretty good. But yeah, I think when it comes to vodka, don't get the cheap stuff. The bullshit, Finlandia, a bottle of Finlandia is very affordable, cost efficient, and it's good vodka. It's good vodka made by my relatives back in the motherland of Finland. I'm rambling. I know. Yeah, tonight, here's what's going on tonight. Here's the program tonight. All right, you ready for this? Tonight, I am going to play tracks from the bands Goathammer, Savage Necromancy, Mahr, Witchbones, RIP, and Totalitarian. I'm also going to give you guys some not so known information about the first Thanksgiving. Isn't that going to be fun? I think so. I think that's going to be very, very fun, and everyone's going to enjoy it. First Thanksgiving facts. Yes. Yes, you're welcome. No, we'll do. You're too kind. Too kind. But yeah, before we get started, I do want to give a special shout out to Matt Terrell for sending me that Emperor cassette. That was very nice of you, man. I appreciate it very much. That was fucking kudos to you, my man. Thank you very much. Also, to Anthony Warhammer of the band Goathammer for sending me my Goathammer shirt out. He's got a lot of little things going on, projects and such, but it's funny because I bought this shirt from him, I believe it was last March. And he was in the Philippines with his family and stuff. And do you guys remember what happened last fucking March? I'll give you a hint. It's still happening. All the COVID shit went down. So post offices in America and in the Philippines were all shut down. And, we're friends on Facebook and stuff. And, he was so nice. And he was just like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. They're all shut down, And I didn't bust his chops about it. It's nobody's fault, except for, I guess, China, and then also probably the United States administration running the show at the time. I blame them. But, he wasn't able to send the shirt out to me. But I actually got it last week. So thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate it. It looks great. I can't wait to try it on and wear it and flex my muscles in front of my wife in that shirt. And it'll turn her on, I'm sure. I'm certain of that. But yeah, it's kind of a funny little anecdote about getting the shirt. The trials and tribulations of just a working class band, just a, regular schmoes like us, and, all these things affect us. Imagine all the bands that could have gone on tour, concerts that could have happened and were canceled, and all that bullshit. Archgoat was supposed to come through here this month. I would have loved to have seen fucking Archgoat very much. Yeah, they're supposed to come through Utah again. They're supposed to be doing a U.S. tour, and, that didn't happen, obviously. So, in the meantime, just lean on each other. All of us goofy metalheads and heathens, and Satanists. We'll just find some kind of comfort in ourselves, and keep everybody picked up and pick each other up, and help each other out. So, no reason to bust chops about anything. Just be there for each other. It's enough of my hippie rant. But I am going to play a Goathammer song because I did get my shirt and I'm very excited about it, and Goathammer is pretty great. Here is the song. Let's see. This song is coming from their self-titled album that you guys can find on Bandcamp, Goathammer, one word, or can also be found through Hell's Headbangers. But this is the song Necrobaptism by Goathammer. Here it is. That was Necrobaptism by Goathammer, based out of Canada, also the Philippines. Great shit. Great song. Just terrific riffage. Love it. So, it's time for school, motherfucks. I'm going to tell you guys some unknown shit about the first Thanksgiving. Now you may be saying to yourself, Joe, why do we give a flying fuck about this? Well, because history is dope as fuck and metal as Satan's tits. Okay? So, strap in, motherfucks, because school's in session, bitch. Alright, so just kind of to preface the story, the leader of this group, his name is Bradford, that's his last name. And the Pilgrims were not Puritans. They were Orthodox Protestants and extreme in their belief system and stuff, approached like Puritans, but they were not Puritans. Puritans were a whole separate other people. Okay, so when they arrived to the New World on the Mayflower, which was just a rickety old piece of shit, that there was the Mayflower and the Speedwell was another ship. The Speedwell didn't even make it the entire voyage. They had to abandon it and just fucking let it sink because it was such a piece of shit. So everyone came on the Mayflower, right? And it was only like 100 people that came, and even out of that number, only a few of them were the actual pilgrims, and the rest were the crew. So when they got there, when they had landed at Plymouth Rock, which was way further north than they're supposed to be, they came onto the beach, right? And they saw nobody. There was nothing. Well, they make shelter and all the bullshit and camp, and they start to have, parties of men go out and see what's out there. And the only thing they found were all these abandoned native villages with bones, like human bones everywhere, and like just tents and stuff left, right? Not buried bodies. They didn't take their tents or anything with them. It was just like dead bodies everywhere. And that they found like several of those. They saw a couple of them, the first time out, and then like every time they went out to like see what's out there, what food there is to hunt, and what kind of supplies they could get to build shelter and all that bullshit. They kept finding these abandoned little villages just full of dead bodies that weren't buried. Okay, so like the first major time that they went out, they found this like mound of sand, and they're like, okay, let's dig it up, see what's here. Well, halfway through digging it up, they're like, oh shit, what if this is a grave? Are we digging up someone's dead body? So they stop. And then the second like major expedition out, they find another one of those like mounds of sand, but they're just like, okay, let's just dig it up. Let's just see what's here. Maybe it's something else. So they dig it up, and they find like a bushel of corn just stored away. So they steal half of it to feed everyone, and they leave the other half there for whoever buried it. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they wouldn't notice. You know what I mean? So then like the third major party to go out and, venture out into the wilderness. They find another one of those sound mounds. They dig it up, and they find a dead European. Now, they knew it was a European because they had blonde hair, right? And a dead child. And they were both covered in this red sand stuff, but the child was decorated with, like, necklaces and, like shells and necklaces, and like they were giving him, like, a proper burial, right? So the settlers are like, okay, there's people here, but we don't know where the fuck they are. So they're all, a bit on edge and scared. So a few nights go by. And at night, and this happens at a place called First Encounter Beach, they're attacked at nighttime by people. They don't even know which, like, tribe it was that attacked them, but they were attacked at night. But they had muskets, so they were able to fight them off. And so they survived, and were able to fight them off. Okay, so then on December 8th, they find a native settlement abandoned and decide to take it and, build their shelter there. But even though they found this little settlement and they're getting settled and everything, everyone is still starving to death. They're just suffering. It's miserable. It's December. They have no food. A child dies. The leader, Bradford's wife, commits suicide. She jumps off the boat because they're kind of still saying on the boat, but also off of the boat. She jumps off the boat, and everyone's like, oh, she slipped, but no, she killed herself. And then a woman gives birth to a stillborn child. So they're all it's just misery and suffering. They're fucked. They are so fucked, right? And they're scared to death because they don't know who's out there. They don't know who's around them. But whoever is out there, someone attacked them at night. Their dead bodies, they drag out to the forest with their muskets and prop them up against trees. So it looks like they have a guard, like a sentry, guarding their little, the little village that they set up, right? And that's how it goes this whole winter, okay? I know, first Thanksgiving. Oh, I thought it was, they were saved and stuff. No. The first fucking winter sucked. Shit. It fucking sucked for them, right? They're dying left and right. They're dying like fucking flies. So spring breaks. All the dead bodies that they propped up against trees with muskets to look like guards are starting to melt. They fall over. So the settlers are back again, like really on edge. They're scared. They know that just past the tree line are natives whose intentions they do not know. And they're just in their little village, on edge with their muskets loaded and ready in case someone comes in, tries to attack. So one day, one native, just alone, walks in through the tree line with a bow in his hand, just walks in, walks right into the middle of the village and speaks English. And is like, hey, I'm here to introduce myself. My name is Disquantum. This village you guys took over, was abandoned because this, he introduced himself. So all these abandoned villages where it's like death, nothing but bones and tents and shit left over, it's because the settlement in Jamestown down in Virginia, well, the people that settled that, some of them had the plague. Rats get on the ships and, spread plague. And the plague spread from the Europeans to the natives. So the plague, the Black Death, wiped out a whole fuckload of like the Wampanoag, which is the tribe that met the Pilgrims and helped the Pilgrims. But not just them, but like a bunch of other native tribes. Like the plague just fucking rampant, just destroyed them, right? So he's like, this place was a village, and this is where I was from, but everyone's dead from the plague, yada yada yada. And he introduces himself, and like he's fucking cool. And so the settlers are like, oh god, what a relief, this motherfucker speaks English, plus like he's being cool. A few days later, all right, so he introduced himself, everything's cool. He's like, look, we're not gonna fucking harm you guys. I'm gonna, go back to, my village, but I'm gonna be back in a couple days, see how everybody is. So he comes back. A few days later, he comes back with their chief and a bunch of their warriors, right? And there is a reason why the Wampanoag like approached the Pilgrims, is because one, their tribe was decimated by the fucking plague. And two, because of that, their numbers were small, and there were other tribes that wanted to take over the Wampanoag's land. Despite the fucking utopia all of our hippie teachers taught us that, the natives lived in a huge utopia. No, they were at war with each other all the time. So the Wampanoag, they needed allies. They needed backup against other tribes in the area that wanted to take their land from them. The Pilgrims need fucking everything, right? They're starving to death. They're dying left and right. They needed help on every front possible. So, the chief meets all the like settlers and stuff, and everything's cool. And they made an alliance. So they go on to help each other. They're trading back and forth, developing their relationship, building an alliance between the Wampanoag tribe and the settlers. Okay. Disquantum stays with the Pilgrims and helps them like bury crops, like plant seeds for crops and sow seeds for crops and that, and helps them out, saves their asses basically. So the first Thanksgiving does not take place until 3 years after the settlers arrive. And it wasn't like really a set in stone thing. Basically, the settlers were like, you guys saved our asses. We have all this food for harvest. It's always been a tradition, European tradition, no matter what it was called, that in the harvest, there's a big feast. They're like, hey, you guys come over here. We're going to have a big feast and just like celebrate, the harvest of our, the fruits of our labor, and then, celebrate and all that. So the Wampanoag bring 5 deers to offer to the feast. It lasts like 3 days. They play games. They sing songs. It's fucking awesome, right? So they eat a lot of seafood because they're, on the coast. And, Massachusetts, you got to know that a lot of seafood over there, Oh, Massachusetts, that's a tribe. That's one of the tribes that the Wampanoag were scared of, was the Massachusetts, because they were big and they're fucking mean as shit. So that's where Massachusetts gets its name, is from that tribe, the Massachusetts. Anyway, so that's kind of the story of the first Thanksgiving, is just suffering and bleak death upon people, and having their asses saved by the Wampanoag. And then also the Wampanoag needed friends. They need some allies against the Massachusetts, and then also like other tribes. So there you guys go. There's some fucking little history lesson for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to play a song from Savage Necromancy because it seems appropriate at the time. This is, all right, let me see. This is off of the split they did with Genocidal Sodomy. Yeah. And you guys can find that on the Bandcamp, either one of the band's Bandcamps, Savage Necromancy or Genocidal Sodomy's Bandcamp. But this song is called Savage Millennium of the Holocaust. Savage Millennium of Holocaust. Necromancy. That was Savage Necromancy. It was kind of a short song. I guess I give you a quick little snippet of like what happened after the first Thanksgiving. So the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag stayed friends. They stayed allies and shit. But the people that funded the Pilgrims to come out, well, the Pilgrims aren't making them any. They're not sending enough beaver pelts back. So they send out another group of settlers who compete against the Pilgrims settlers fucking group, right? And basically what happens is England keeps sending people over here to settle. The Wampanoag and the original Pilgrims and shit, they stay pals. But eventually the Pilgrims are kind of absorbed into the Wampanoag tribe because eventually, you know, it always happens, if you've ever seen Dances with Wolves, is the English keep sending people. They keep settling. They keep settling and crossing the line with people, not trading with enemy tribes and shit. So eventually there's a battle, right? King Philip's War. King Philip, he's not an Englishman. He's the leader of the Wampanoag tribe. They are at war with the English. The Pilgrims fight on the side of the Wampanoag. They're the Pilgrims' like grandchildren, basically, of the original settlers fought on the side of the Wampanoag. And along with the Wampanoag, they honored their oaths to them and died with them. They were killed along with the Wampanoag because they fought on the side of the Wampanoag against English settlers. So that's basically how it goes. King Philip made like surrendered to, the people settling, the leader of their like military, whatever. He said, I'm just doing this because I want to save my people. And they're like, all right, cool, we'll let your fucking people go, but we're going to kill you. And he's like, cool. That's what he said. He was like, cool. So they kill King Philip, and they put his head on a spike in the middle of the Plymouth village where his friends, like the people that supported him, originally like fucking settled. Which is like, so it's like a double-sided fucking insult to the original pilgrims and also to the people that saved their asses. But it's not like how people will be like, oh yeah, they saved their asses, and then the next year they killed them. They didn't. Those white settlers died along with their Wampanoag friends, honoring their oaths. So that's, I don't know. I like it, man. I mean, I don't like it, but I like it. I like that it's honorable. They died along with their friends who saved their lives. You know what I mean? So, if anyone if anyone claims that their family came over on the Mayflower, and I know there's a lot of people that do, but don't believe them. Because most likely they wouldn't have lived, because they either fucking died on the side of the Wampanoag or they went back to England. So yeah, man, that's some bullshit. People like to lie. Oh fuck. All right, let's see. Well, damn it. Okay, I know what I'll do. Sorry, I'm just looking at the songs and times I have left to play. So, along with Dead Settlers, the band Witchbones is now no more, which is too bad because Witchbones is a very good band, and I think it's too bad that they're not doing Witchbones anymore. But the guy in Witchbones has a lot of different projects going on. So it's not like he's going anywhere, just the project Witchbones is no longer. So the last track he put out for the band Witchbones has quite the title. You can find on Witchbones Bandcamp, but it's easy to fucking find. Witchbones, one word. I'll play the song. Catch me on part 2. Okay. By blood and by me, I fall when you leave. Witchbones. So here